Fiore. He was bigger than life. I still smile when I hear his name. When he was talking to you, he made you feel like you were his best friend. Everyone who met him probably has a story to tell. My story is about Yosemite's High Sierra camps and Nic. I was at Merced Lake in 1973 when Nic was appointed director of the High Sierra camps. It was a job to mark time before it snowed and he could get back on his beloved skis. But a funny thing happened. Nic became, the backcountry and the High Sierra camps worked their magic on Nic, and he became passionate about them. Nic was now complete. He had the best of two worlds and would often say that he had the best job in the world. I was fortunate to know Nic in two capacities. As a boss when I was cooking at May Lake, and as a friend and fellow lover of the High Sierras. He had a gift for hiring crew members that would work together and be compatible all summer. He personally interviewed everyone that he hired. If a person had a problem, Nic would arrive and he would take that person and he would have a talk with them. Everything, he told them that he told them that it was very important to keep up with the High Sierra camp and that they wanted to, that everything, he wanted to have them get everything running well. Very seldom was there a second time to talk to that person. When Nic was hiking, it was almost impossible to keep up with him. He knew all the shortcuts between the camps. In fact, he probably blazed most of them. On the shortcut between Sunrise and Merced Lake, there was two rounded peaks you hiked through when you came down. These he named Mansfield Peaks after the full-figured movie star Jane Mansfield. Years ago, all the camps had ham one night a week. One time, the warehouse made a mistake and sent 4 hams to Sunrise and none to Vogelsang. Nic hiked to Sunrise and put 2 hams in his backpack, then started out of Vogelsang for Vogelsang. This was the hardest shortcut between the camps, and somewhere around the Grand Canyon of the Nelson, he realized a bear was following him. According to Nic, that was the fastest he ever ran between the camps. Another time on the same shortcut, unknowingly he hiked near a nest of a goshawk, and he was attacked. Nic arrived in camp with deep cuts and scratches on his head, neck, and shoulders. And being Nic, he refused medical treatment. At Merced Lake, there used to be a flagpole in front of the dining tent where the sun first came over the granite cliff. After breakfast, guests would gather there to tell their stories and decide what to do for the day. While Nic was there, he was always in the middle of all discussions. Nic could start telling a story to one person, and by the time he finished, there would be 10 people around listening to him. When the last forest fire came down Sunset Mountain and the Sunrise Tuolumne Trail into Echo Valley, Nic showed up at Merced Lake and asked my husband to go with him to take pictures and see how much had burned. My husband took his old Minolta camera, which took film cartridges, and after loading it, off they went. After about 4 hours, they reappeared with stories of burning trees and brush, and the fire being held back from the lake by the river and the granite cliffs. They took lots of pictures. One Nic wanted a copy of was with his standing in front of a burning pine tree. Unfortunately, later we found out that the film had not caught in the sprocket and wound, and we lost all of the great fire pictures and I was the one who had to tell Nic about it. Each summer, and I have spent 68 years in the high country and 80 in the valley, we would go deposit our gear at the stables and head for Midge Fiore's house. Midge was a wonderful, charming woman, and we would sit and talk about and reminisce for hours. Midge was the backbone of their endeavors, and the dining room table always had a stack of paper, reports, and letters she was working on for the Sierra or the Ski Association. In the summertime, she often hiked around the High Sierra camps, and when in need of a break, she would head for the beach house to relax and recuperate. Both of Nic's daughters worked in Yosemite. When Cindy was in reservations for special events, we phoned and told her that our son Mark wanted to get married in the apple orchard behind the stables, and we needed rooms in the Curry cottages for 80 people. We got our rooms, but it wasn't long after that she took a job out of Yosemite, and I often wondered if we were the reason. Robin, that was Nicky's nickname, worked at Merced Lake. At that time, the shower handles for the hot and cold water had been removed and replaced with one button on a timer that you pushed. Rumor had it that Robin was the only one who could keep the water running when washing her hair by keeping one foot up on the button. Nic's grandchildren also worked in Yosemite, Tanaya in the valley and McKay at Merced Lake. McKay has his grandfather's personality and charms the women and makes friends wherever he goes. Nic's family has become a part of Yosemite's history, and Nic's dedication and loyalty to Yosemite are legendary. I remember the well-deserved tribute to Nic on his 50th anniversary in the valley and all the times we spent together, and I am thankful for all the wonderful memories he left us. Nic is gone, but I truly believe that his spirit still watches over Yosemite.
Hello, my name is Marcel Borrell, and I came to Yosemite in 1958 at Badger Pass. It's the first time that I met Nic. And on opening day, or supposed opening day of the ski school, of the ski area, there wasn't enough snow. And we thought, what are we going to do? And as we waited, Nic comes out and says, guys, don't pick up your boots, don't pick up your skis, pick up a rag here, a squeegee, and we're going to clean the windows of the lodge. And we all rolled our eyes. My God, did I come here to clean windows? But it didn't take Nic very long to change our mind with his humor, with his positive attitude, with his let's go, guys. And within minutes, we were laughing, whistling, telling jokes. And that's how Nic worked with us, regardless what we did. At the end of the day, we had to go up and boot pack or ski pack Rail Creek. There was a race course. We had to prepare for the race course. We would have liked to go back into the valley, get a beer, but no. We have to sidestep down the slope. And Nic, again, kept us laughing, telling us stories from previous races. And so Nic instilled in all of us a spirit of positive attitude even to situations that were somewhat negative or not too much fun. I also remember when, maybe it was the same year or the next year, Nic asked me to join him on a trip to Ostrander Ski Hut. And it was a trip that Mary, or Miss T as we called her, had organized or asked us to do with her friends from San Francisco, all lady friends. And we rode off on the Weasel. You have seen a picture, or there was one of a Weasel. There was a little sort of a vehicle rescued from the Second World War from the North African front. It was designed to ride on the sand dunes, but they used it at Badger Pass. I mean, grooming wasn't anything known at that time. Grooming was done with your skis, but they shipped things or, tools. And so we ride on that Weasel into Ostrander. It's bumpy, it's rocky, it's an open cab. And one of the ladies started complaining loudly about a splinter that she had picked up on her butt because we were sitting on these wooden seats, wooden planks. And charming as Nick was, he jumped up and said, "Oh, well, let me help you." Just turned over, and it was great, to everybody's great amusement. He got the splinter out. and another thing that might be of interest to all of us, that in the year 2000, the veteran ski instructors reunion that's held every year in Deer Valley. Nick was honored by that association and by a whole bunch, maybe 100, maybe thousands of professional ski instructors for all his contributions that he's given to the ski industry, to the ski teaching profession, and to many, as we have heard, many hundred of ski enthusiasts that he taught how to ski. And so I feel like this morning in the bathroom at the hotel, I see a sign and it said, "Water is a very precious resource." And for me and for a lot of people in here, I would say, Nick, the memory of you and of all the good stories with you is a precious resource for the rest of our lives. Thank you.
But where the hell's the Bonaventure? And I'm not kidding, we're not from here, we're from Yosemite. Jesus Christ, what do you think? We have no stoplights in Yosemite, what the hell? I don't know we don't see it, we don't have stoplights in Yosemite, Jesus Christ. How the hell? What the hell? This car, I've never driven this car. I had no idea it could go that fast. Jesus Christ. You have to, I'm not kidding. Tom Williams, this is Tom Williams' car. We borrowed the car, and hell, I didn't know it could go 75, 80. You can't, no, hell, Jesus Christ.
Well, the ski school is doing very well. You know, I have a terrific team. I have a terrific team of snowboard. They're all youngsters who are very eager. They are very good, very enthusiastic, and along with the ski teachers. In other words, enthusiasm prevails here at Badger Pass.
And fun.
And, of course, skiing and fun and snow.